in your own mind, that area that we call the boundary between the sixth and the seventh dimension, the sixth still being universal and physical, and the seventh monadic, the beginning of your oversoul, the beginning of your oversoul, that opulent pearl card that we spoke of yesterday. So 1.5 feet on top of your crown chakra, create another star and call that the boundary between the physical and the spiritual. The upper level, every universe has 7 grand divisions. 7 grand divisions. The 7th grand division of the 6th dimension. Visualize, if you will, this wonderful being who's with us now, but he can be there. Melchizedek. All of you, except for 6, are of that family. You are from this universe. Some of you have transferred over for experience. So he's a great friend to each and every one of us. Get a sense of that boundary, please, because it's the boundary, if one can liken a boundary to anything that becomes spiritual, that would be it. And create a star there, please. Any kind of light is enough, or a perception or an intuitive connection will suffice. And know that this is the boundary between the monad and the universe and all universes. There are 43 universes in this one cosmic day. So from a source perspective, one day of its experience is 4.3 billion years in sequential time, the time that we experience. So it's very vast, is it not? Draw a line now from that and come right down to the boundary between the 4th and 5th dimension, and that would be where your soul star is. Slightly atop of your soul star or your primal soul. Draw a line and see this as one's Christed self. One's Christed self. Keep those boundaries in mind when you do your meditations, please, where they can be very, very helpful. So when I say the upper level of the 7th dimension, you know where to go to. It's about 1.5 feet. 7 or 8 feet for most of you. For your source star. Soul star, you know where that is. It's about 6 to 8 inches on top of your crown chakra. And slightly on top of that is your Christed self. Now, because the Mahatma energy is balanced, the God, the Goddess, I ask us to work with that energy now, for she is complete. From source star to earth star, please draw a line. Aqua blue would be the better one. It's so electrical. The source star, I want you to see a council of 12. There are 11 members around the table, and in the center is the 12th member. Each one of these members represents a ray. All of existence is housed with one of these rays. 12 rays constitute this creation. And each one of you are a part of one of these monadic vehicles. There are 12. The most glorious to look at would be the 12th in the center of the table. This being is about to move on and create his own cosmic day. That is the chain. That is the evolutionary chain. You look at the first, many of us are working with first ray now because it is the destroyer ray when things don't work. From a source perspective, there is a cleansing. There are also the pioneer ray. This is red. Bring in the red and look at it. Look at how masterful this being is, how magnificent, whether you're, and see yourself as an equal. You are not less than anyone. And if this being is 1,000,000 miles tall, it does not matter for you. Then become 1,000,000 miles tall as an analogy. Look into the eyes of this one, please. The love, the devotion, the unconditional love of all of these beings is so profound. That is, we do not have the language. We, third dimensional, fourth dimension, we do not have the language to describe the love. Feel yourself as this being, for this is the monadic vehicle that constitutes many of our efforts on this planet. That is the first ray. We'll go through these. The second, which is not Kamara, many of your planetary hierarchy have worked with. Buddha also. Buddha and Dwalkur, both being of wisdom, you see in indigo blue. The Christ Maitreya is of this energy. Many of you have worked with this energy. You are not fixed with one monadic vehicle. This is love and wisdom, gentle ones. Love and wisdom permeates your beingness as you recognize, as you look into this great being's eyes, that this is who you are. I am, finally. I am. I relate to this one. I do not express love as he does, but I am of this energy. And we go around the third member. They're all magnificent. Look to the third, the fourth. Much of the art, the music on this earth, much of the confusion, the excessive love of physicality is also part of this fourth. The third, for those that don't know, it has great organizational ability. You need the third to implement a plan. The fifth, very mental, is it not? Sometimes they get stuck with their mental theories. The mind, as you know, can only expand so far, and this is one of the dilemmas of humankind. The mind cannot expand. So it gets stuck. Look to this one. For many are very mental and know that this is who we are. The sixth ray on this little planet Earth, Jesus has been responsible for this ray as a transformer. stepping down energy. And it breeds fanaticism. This ray, it's a wonderful ray, but it does embody a degree of fanaticism. So those who cannot change, love and endure them, for they do not know that this ray sometimes becomes excessive. This is the ray, the one we call Jesus, and many, many, many others, 1/12 of humankind. Seventh, you associate that with Germain. Of course, it's much better and greater than Germain. But Germain is the facilitator. All of these beings are facilitators, stepping down energy. It has that wonderful healing. Sense that with this one, that violet flame, and know that this is who you are. Allow it to penetrate your whole beingness, every cell in your body, and heal. Breathe it in, gentle ones. Breathe it in and allow yourself to become. The eighth is a wonderful bridge. The ninth overshadows. The ninth. We did that, the blue-gray, the blue-green this morning. Breathe that in, gentle ones. 10th, 11th, and 12th are all of the spiritual monadic level. They all are, but they're particularly served best from that level of consciousness. 10th overshadows the spiritualization of matter. Breathe it in, gentle ones, and become. This is the one Mahatma is associated with. Sits at the 10th chair of this oval table. But there's no separation. It's like having an assignment. That is the monadic vehicle of the spiritualization, one of its assignments, one of its jobs, spiritualization of matter. The 11th is a magnificent bridge, and the 12th in the center is the New Age. Gold. Allow yourself to drink in, to become this gold. For it is the most transformational of energies except for the source itself, as it embodies all 12 rays. All 12 rays are embodied in the 12th. That's why you see so much of it now as this age begins. Permeates all of our beingness as a group now. We invite this group now to join us, these 12 who hold this one of an unlimited number of cosmic days. Let us go into that is the 9th dimension, gentle ones. connect, or if all 12 were connected, they fasten into the undifferentiated source. And that is the source of sources as far as we know. We know that isn't the end of the journey, but it's as far as anyone has ever seen. As a group now, gentle ones, we take the 12 rays with us as we go to the 8th dimension. It's a magnificent journey. This is where all of creation is done, at least in miniature, and is given to the various councils of 12, the galactic levels or universal levels, for them to put in alignment and see if they will work. And all of physical creation came about this way. All of creation came about this way in this cosmic day. You begin to sense your journey. You begin to sense that you have been a co-creator. That this is part of your experience as you align with who you are at this level. And you start to think, which is my monadic vehicle? Which do I resonate with? Which ray? Who am I? Do I work with more than one? Possibly. You've all worked with all of them, depending on your assignment. The magnificence of creation happens here as far as this one cosmic day is concerned. So our group is very large now because we have associate members. The Mahatma, the very balanced Mahatma from our perception. The Metatron. As we come down to the 7th dimension, this is extremely vast, beyond comprehension. We have no language to explain the colors of all of these spiritual levels, the calmness, the many, many sounds, the hue sounds, the God sounds, the trumpeters of creation, the beauty, the solitude, the oneness. You're struck by the oneness. And you don't feel you lose your individuality, for you are an individual within this composite. So the fear of losing your individuality leaves you now. Now let us go down to about midway, about the 4th level of the 7th dimension. There's a massive mountain of pearl-colored omnipresence, and it says, it is our oversoul. The group now, please, merge yourself with this magnificence that is of a spiritual nature. It is spiritual energy, and it does overshadow the spiritualization of matter. Walk into it as a group now, please, and allow this very opulent pearl color to penetrate the whole group as one. Walk into this mountain. It shimmers. It is very alive. It permeates our whole beingness. Revitalizes that part which we had long since forgotten that we are. And it gives us great hope. But this is the journey, gentle ones. That has come to the boundary now that you created, the 1.5 feet above the crown, between the 6th and the 7th dimension. And you look across, and as far as you see planets and stars, endless numbers, infinite numbers of our creation. Infinite number of our creation. And they're so different than the still, magnificent thoughts being things that we, in the spiritual realm, enjoy. And we look at what we have done, what we have achieved collectively, and each one of us knows that they have been a part of this magnificent scheme. This magnificent scheme. And we see the perfection in everything. And we wonder why the perfection isn't apparent on earth. Whenever where we look, we see relative perfection. We come up to this absolute boundary because it seems so distinctly different. And there's a golden bridge. And this golden bridge leads us into the physical realms, into the universal realms. We look across this bridge, and our dear friend Melchizedek is at the opposite end, and he beckons us. We are coming with the Oversoul. The Oversoul embodies us totally, and it's very, very joyous. It permeates this group as one. You feel the spiritualization of your beingness now. Cross this bridge, and the joy that is felt. The joy that is felt as Metatron introduces this group to Melchizedek. Melchizedek in turn introduces you to your higher self. Now this is a magnificent scene. I want you to visualize this very, very clearly. These two energies, the higher self and the Oversoul, have not met in millions and millions and millions of years. Have them now greet and watch how they rush one to the other, how they rush the Oversoul and how it merges with, and the higher self simply becomes the Oversoul. The most natural, much more natural than the amoeba principle. This is like two friends greeting and becoming one instantaneously. The expression is so full of joy that our language cannot describe this. So they become one, the Oversoul. Nothing was taken away, nothing was destroyed. Simply become the Oversoul. We carry on a joy. At this point, Melchizedek takes us to the 5th density, and you meet a being that all of you have worked with, Melchior. Your night assignments now, you do not go to Shambhala, you go to the Galactic Core for training. And if you don't, ask that you should. There isn't a being or an aspect of self that isn't you now. Look, there is no sense of separation, and yet your individuality is in place You know your energy. You know all there is to know. And you've learned everything within split seconds, as we refer to time. Know this one, for you work with him at night, you work with many at night, you work in those altered states, as you call them, at the galactic core. This is Melchior. Let's continue our journey. And at that level we speak of just above the primal soul. Let us stop for a moment. And meet the Christ child, the one within all of us, the one that is us, the proverbial, magnificent Christ. Christ isn't out in the ethers, and it isn't anchored in one being. And let us introduce, Melchior introduces us now to the Christ child. Breathe, gentle ones, please. We carry this Christ child, and we envelop the Christ child with the oversoul, that silver color. And it becomes even more glorious and more beautiful as we study the innocence of this perfected one. We enter the crown chakra, that disc called the crown. Past the third eye opening, gentle ones. And all of us are attendant to the 12 co-creators. And we go past the throat, gentle ones, into the cosmic room. We invite everyone, and we expand our cosmic heart now, please, with breath. Great light, as we invite these monadic vehicles, all 12, plus all aspects of self, the Mahatma, the Metatron, the angelic host, into our very large room, for it is all-encompassing. And at this point, the higher self and the oversoul envelop the primal soul. If you could see it, they literally rush to one another. There is absolutely no resistance one with the other. They know their coding, they know their unity, they know the oneness. So within this cosmic heart, we all meet, greet, and bond as one. There is no sense of male or female. There is no sense of divine inequality. There is only love. There is no bickering. There is no overachieving. There is no underachieving. We simply are. And it is unconditional love that we feel one for the other, and we see the unity in all of creation. We breathe out now and make room for the Christ itself. The pillars are intact, look at them. Michael, Raphael, Oriel, Gabriel, please. And anchor all of this with sandalphon. Breathe, gentle ones, breathe. Lay your pure and gentle Christ itself down on a blanket in front of this fireplace, if you will, please. This is who you are. This is the gentle child. This is the Christ itself. And look at its eyes. Look at its eyes and see how it loves so unconditionally. See its smile. It is not judgmental. It is not quizzical. The warmth, the wonderful fraternity, the wonderful innocence that is you is shown to you once again. It is not been diswrought with disharmony. It knows not what many of you have experienced. It is the pure you, the essence, the Christ itself. And in this Christ itself, all that is bountiful, all that is wondrous, all that can happen is shown to you. Your heart opens. And you say, can this be me? Can this honestly be who I am, so gentle? Am I so loving? Am I really so wondrous? As you know that this is so, the smile, the dependency, it needs love, it gives unconditional love, it needs love. And you realize that this is you. Every imaginable event is unfolding as you look at who you are as the child. And it allows you to awaken to your truth, to your journey, to all that has happened in all of creation. And the cosmic room, the fireplace is really lit about now. And there's wonderful reflections of all the 12 rays. All is in harmony. The child you watch is you, and you say, I can become my Christ itself. And I begin to expand this Christ itself throughout my whole adult physical beingness. I breathe it in now gently. I realize how reliant I am on this Christ itself, that I need the nourishment, I need the love. I need to see as a child sees. I need to be adored. And I know that this must start within this room. It is such harmony, a state of bliss that I have never experienced knowingly. I breathe and ask the angelic host to assist me to become this Christ child in an adult body. With all the hurt and anger that I have felt, I ask now, that I trust as the child trusts, that I love as the child does. I expect nothing. I expect only to be loved. And everywhere I look in this room is profound love. Everything is joyous. Some of you can hear the angelic host. And I breathe and I expand this room. I breathe and I expand the Christ child within. And everything becomes harmony. This joy. Joy is the thing that I see in this child's eye. And there's no sexuality with this baby. It simply is. It's neither male nor female. It is so androgynous. This consciousness expands throughout my whole 5 or 4 body system now. And I breathe this Christ child throughout every cell in my body. Every cell in my body I breathe in this Christ itself. And I make a few commitments to myself. I say, I know that this is who I can become, for this is who I am. This is my beginning. And this will be how I leave. No matter how angry or distressed or disturbed or turbulent this earth becomes, I will stay Christed. And I will remain in truth, in love, in light, and hopefully in joy as this child is. So I will expand this consciousness throughout all of creation, and everywhere I go I will see the candle, the fireplace, the child. And in this loving innocence, this benevolent God, this loving God that I have missed and yearned for, I will see and feel. Breathe, please. This God that I know only faintly, for it seems so distant, I see within the Christ child. My heart is so full. And I see the cosmic connection with the cosmic heart, the microcosm of the macrocosm, the Christ child and my physicality. I see the link, and it's a profound, profound link. And I'll take my first, second, and third chakras and I place them in this cosmic room. I bathe them with this, the most beautiful of all energies, the child within. Anger is abated, I know not what it is. I breathe those chakras up. Unconditionally, I release them to divine light and love. For I do not see these three lower chakras in this Christ child, for they are not present. It hasn't got distorted will. The emotional body is not present. And survival is not shown to it, or the sexuality. It simply is. It's in this isness that we all are, gentle ones. Allow the golden flame of the fireplace to be all prevailing the light as you bathe all aspects of who and we are. Of who and what we are. This is the Christ itself. This is inherent in all of us, our distortion and being captive in whatever ideology that we have accepted or bought into, or whatever limitation we've accepted and bought into is released now. I breathe this out and say unto myself, I will become the Christ itself, for this is who I am. I see the totality of who I am now. I now understand what Jesus said when he was on this little planet that was so irrevocably distorted. I see what they mean. I see what they meant. Martyrdom is not the issue. Eternal life is the issue, the resurrected self. I breathe in the resurrected self and know that this is what I am becoming. My whole body radiates with this Christ self, and every cell in my body is feeling its love. Unconditional love. The Christ within now looks at every part of my nature as we release resistance of any kind. And breathe it out now, please. Be the joyful child, for this was our inheritance. The child doesn't know it is disconnected from its correct DNA. And that Christ child we will rebuild as it explores life into the perfected or proper DNA. Every part of you now should be resonating at a higher vibration. Breathe in, gentle ones. Breathe the heart out throughout eternity, this cosmic heart. As you see the circles in front of you in this chart, breathe them out in circles of ever expanding dimension after dimension after dimension after dimension forward. This is who you are. Out, 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 out. Aha, please. Aha. I say unto myself, I know that I am not limited to what I'm told on this little planet with finite scientists and religions that do not tell the truth. I believe in the Christ within. I believe in my God source, and I know that I am Christed. Every part of my being is the totality of who we are with these 12 great creators. All resonates harmony, bliss. There is ultimately no separation. I make a promise to myself now that I will live my Christ itself within my cosmic heart. And every day and more, down my legs, the hips, down my legs, the hips, up, down, and into the earth. This magnificent light vehicle that I am becoming, I will retain. For it is so simple now, and this is your choice, this is what you've elected to do. We remind the Christ itself within that we will be decoding, including the spiritual realms. And there will be no surprises, for this child knows those areas as you do. The emotional body now, please breathe it out. There's enough that's come up. All that you come up, carry, breathe it out through the emotional body, through the mental body, please now. Let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. All the burdens for millions of years that you have carried, please release. Please release. Bathe in your own light as your own creators of your own reality. You're quite magnificent. Well, I want to tell you, you're the first group in America that has touched into the fifth dimension. And it always happens the same way. Mm-hmm. A very, very pleasant surprise for all of us. The cells are very active now. Please breathe out any area of confusion or darkness. Mm-hmm. Some of you who are a little clear may wish to see the column of light that you've created in the middle of the room. As recent as a year ago in Spain, a little over a year ago, when the Tower of Light was created, there was some interference from darkness. There's nothing now. No interference whatsoever with that which we perceive as dark. Again, the most difficult time I have with any seminar is when the Council of 12 bow to you, bow to us. Touches me more directly than anything I experience. If any of you are driving tonight, I understand that there's coffee and tea and whatever else in the bag. But do not drive for a while, if that's what your intentions are. Bathe in your own omnipresence. You're magnificent. You are truly magnificent. And even those that have a little resistance will come around. A great deal has come up in your etheric bodies. I would ask that you, before you leave, that you brush one another and help each other out. So very much has come up. You're all being worked on. Just stay stationary just for a moment, if you will, please. Coming through the earth, there's a reason for this. So open the base, please. See a fountain of light go through to the source star. It's a veritable cleansing for the earth and your transformation. Don't ever say you have no power. If you will see the amount of energy that you generate, really these times are unprecedented on this planet. Stay open, gentle ones. Now bring through the 7th ray, please. The 11th is very effective also. Bring through the 7th and the 11th. Same way through the earth, gentlemen. Cleanse. So many of you have shed so very much you will think that parts of you are not there. We heal that now. Crown open a little more, please, with some of you. Wonderful. Very good. Three M's, the Council of 12, all aspects of self. Thank you. Profoundly. You should thank yourself. Hmm. Hmm. You can see yourselves, all of you are being bathed now with the angelic host, with the lavender, with the, you can see this very clearly. Mm-hmm. Hmm. 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 Look to the pyramidal light grid some of you are being worked on. And do that tonight before you go to sleep. Open yourself to transformation. Mm-hmm. Complete transformation. Pyramidal light grid, gentle ones, are being shown you. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Try to visualize before you go to sleep tonight this pyramidal light where it is being implanted. It's being implanted for the gift of your unification of all creation. It's a gift to the group. Mm-hmm. When you're ready, come back into your bodies gently, please. What a marvelous undertaking. Our profound thanks. I think there's some cold coffee and some cold tea for those who can make. We substituted substance for what? For love. They're still here. The thanks is quite wonderful, overwhelming. Thank you.